Looks like Republicans are running out of people to argue and fight with, so they decided to start punching each other in the face.
Thank you. We're not do it. Get your head out of here.
No, you. No more rhinos in this place. No, you shut the f*** up. No more rhinos in here. He's got a motion.
I have a motion.
Oh, yeah? You want to do it?
I have a motion.
You want to do it?
I have a motion.
You want to keep an motion on the floor.
Apparently, this was the result of a meeting of the minds at an Arizona Republican precinct committee gathering, where Christian Lamar, a Trump precinct committeeman, said he was ignored by the Rhino chair while trying to make a motion. So it was Rhinos versus MAGA in a long shouting match where MAGA Lamar, wearing that blue suit, voiced his objections over and over and was met with some furious Rhino anger.
Thank you. For those of you that are wondering why I'm not acknowledging the noise, is because if you don't acknowledge a person, they don't have the floor. So nobody has the floor. Just for clarification, Sean, do you have the credentials report?
You don't run our meeting. I have a motion. You don't run our meeting. You don't run our meetings. You don't run our meetings. You're violating the bylaws right now.
So, we need our PCs to be there to help us vet the candidates. I think it's hilarious. Not the video.
No. I have the right. I have the floor. I have the right. Okay. No booing or shouting. Stand, raise your hand, recognized by the chair.
And that is the appropriate action to take.
We have 2 meetings in a row where new business had quality time.
I really can't tell who was in the wrong here, but the most predictable element of this emotional meeting full of anger was spotting someone with a firearm on their hip, pacing around the event, looking for a reason to shoot.
My last thought this evening, guys.
Are there any cell phones?
Let me see cards, because I think this is going to be...
We need everybody to sit down.
Luckily, no one was shot fighting over the procedure and apparently the 2020 election being stolen, because Lamar posted this, along with footage of the fighting. Rhinos inside the AZ GOP are the reason 2020 and 2022 elections were stolen, and 2024 is on its way to being stolen. Rhinos tyrannically violated all of our political power as precinct committeemen from within the Republican Party. 3 candidates literally ignored PCs during all of this. We usually only see the residual effects of Trump's never-ending declarations that he was cheated out of the 2020 election, coming in the form of subordinates and rally-goers complaining to cameras about their conspiracy theories. They don't realize that his selfish agenda is causing their party to split even further, all the way down to people in legislative districts coming to blows over their competing agendas. The one consistent factor throughout the party is the anger and willingness to get violent.
Quit the tough guy act in these Senate hearings. You know where to find me, any place, anytime, cowboy. Sir, this is a time, this is a place. If you want to run your mouth, we can be 2 consenting adults. We can finish it here.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on.
Big guy.
Oh, stop it.
Is that your solution every problem?
No, sit down. Sit down. Okay. You know, you're a United States Senator.
There's been apparently a tense interaction in the Capitol hallways with Congressman Tim Burchett. Apparently had a bit of a dust-up in the hallways himself with Kevin McCarthy.
Got elbowed in the back, and it kind of caught me off guard because it was a clean shot to the kidneys, and I turned back, and there was Kevin. He's a bully with $17 million in a security detail. You know, he's the type of guy that when you're a kid would throw a rock over the fence and run home and hide behind his mama's skirt. You know, that's not the way we handle things in East Tennessee. If we have a problem with somebody, I'm going to look them in the eye.
This is what the MAGA party thinks legislating looks like. They're a product of their creator, who regularly uses violent rhetoric when talking about political enemies, the media, even law enforcement officials. He directly tells his followers, who have proven that they're willing to launch an attack, that he'll support their actions in his name. But the idea is to simply blame Democrats for their behavior.
They didn't want me to be able to protest and use my First Amendment rights. And they wanted violence. I think they wanted that to happen because they want to repeat January 6th all over again. They want all of us Trump supporters, MAGA, basically Republicans and just good Americans to look like criminals. And that's what they do in communist countries. And that's actually what we're seeing today.
Marge and her gang don't need any help from Democrats to make themselves look like criminals on January 6th, especially when she openly brags about what she could have accomplished if she was a part of their attack on the Capitol.
Then January 6th happens, and next thing you know, I organized the whole thing along with Steve Bannon here. And I want to tell you something, if Steve Bannon and I had organized that, we would have won. Not to mention, it would have been armed. Yeah. See, that's the whole joke, isn't it? They say that whole thing was planned, and I'm like, are you kidding me? A bunch of conservatives, Second Amendment supporters went in the Capitol without guns, and they think that we organized that? If I had it my way, we would have impeached him a long time ago. Actually, if I had it my way, we would have been successful in our objection on January 6th, and he wouldn't even be president.
This thirst for more violence and bloodshed has almost become a requirement to be trusted as a MAGA party member. The way to normalize this kind of rhetoric is to never acknowledge that they're doing it while consistently doing it in front of adoring audiences. We almost forget the drumbeat of barbarity that comes with the promise of a dictatorship.
When it comes to history repeating itself, there's no example as apparent and as concerning as the rise in political violence. And over the weekend, Donald Trump said there will be a, quote, bloodbath for the country if he loses the election in November. And after I discussed that yesterday, I think it's fair to say the right-wing ecosystem got a little unhinged out there, but they asked us to consider the context. So that's what we did. The context is that Trump kicked off that same rally by saluting the people who were convicted for the deadly assault on the U.S. Capitol on January 6th, all to the tune of the national anthem sung by a choir of imprisoned insurrectionists. The first words out of Trump's mouth in that speech were a big thank you to those rioters, who he called patriots. And at this same rally, he said, quote, if this election isn't won, I'm not sure that you'll ever have another election in this country. And of course, this is much bigger than one unhinged rally. In 2017, remember that? When white nationalists descended on Charlottesville in a deadly rally, and Trump said there were very fine people on both sides? In 2020, Trump approached his defense secretary, Mark Esper, about shooting people protesting the death of George Floyd, asking, can't you just shoot them?